All right. Well, I'm here to introduce Dr. the other Reverend, Maxine. Dr. Maxine was raised in religious science and has been active nearly 48 years as a minister with Centers for Spiritual Living. Yeah, that's something to praise. She served centers in California and before being called to Greater Philadelphia Center for Spiritual Living in Paoli. Reverend Dr. Maxine, she really is devoted to this teaching. And it's evident how she shows up. She's not hesitant to say yes, almost to anything. She, after you graduate ministerial school, you have to have a mentor and you have to have a sponsor. And Reverend Dr. Maxine was my sponsor. And it was truly a blessing. She led me from her heart, and thus that has flowed through me and that I get to share with you all. She's a real gem in this teaching. So I hope that you are open to whatever it is that she will be sharing with us this morning. I know it's going to bless us. Help me welcome Dr. Maxine Kaye.
Thank you, my love. Oh, well, hello. Oh, my goodness, what an honor to be with you. I love everything about what you're doing here. Thank you. You're inspiring me. We may steal some of it. Who knows? This has been a wonderful coming together. Reverend Twana is one of my most favorite people. She's kind of special to you, too, I hear. Well, oh, a little closer? A little closer. I'm not going to eat this thing. Well, this, your theme for the month and our theme for the month have come together, and let me share with you how that has happened. Our theme for the month of March has been about planting and watching things grow, see what happens. Your theme for the month has been, what's doubt about? Well, let me tell you, when Reverend Twana and I were enjoying our magnificent week in Charleston, South Carolina, which was the CSL convention, it was kind of fun because we realized all of a sudden we were on the same plane going down and the same plane coming up. So we had a little extra time at the end while we were sitting in the airport waiting for the plane that fortunately had been delayed a little bit because it gave us time to celebrate her birthday lunch. And at that birthday lunch, seeds were planted. And this is the beautiful flowering of those seeds. And so I'm so grateful. And our people we're all our people, but those who showed up from the other end of town have been just as excited as I have been about our coming together. And it's already a beautiful thing. And to be with Eddie, who was, and his beautiful lady, who was with us in Charleston as well. So your theme for March was what's doubt about? It's very simple. It's just an erroneous belief from being separate from our source and separate from one another. That's it. Got it? You don't even need to talk about it the rest of the month now. They got it. You see, the song of spirit, because what we really came up with was, this is about one voice, many instruments. And the song of spirit is so sweet and so empowering and so real that we can tune into it at any time. You see, we need to listen, that's it. There's just too much yabbering. How's that go? Wah, wah. And it's not all out there. Some of it's in my head. This song needs to be listened to. When we listen with our hearts, we start to hear it. We read in Proverbs, Incline thine ear. Incline thine ear to what? To wisdom, of course, because there's a lot of what our friend J. Scott Neal used to call nincompoopery out there. Have you noticed? It's the wisdom that we're listening for to get tuned into. And that belief in apartness from our source or from each other is foolishness. So we're going to become wiser, less foolish, wiser, and aware that our God self is wisdom, that that divine wisdom is alive within all of us. And we realize, I am that I am. Say that with me. I am that I am. Now we have re-identified and remembered who we were. If that's true of each of us, it's true of all of us. And it is. And this is the remembering that we get to do. We want to listen with the ear of our hearts. Because these two ears hear a lot of noise out there in the world. And the noise that goes on in our heads at times as well. So there is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life. Now, say it with me. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. In that re-identification with our authentic self, the real I am that I am, we then begin to behold the beloved within each other. Take a minute, look around like you did earlier at the beloved within each other. It's not just, hi, this is Nancy, this is Tracy, this is Sam. It's the beloved. When we see that in each other, something begins to change. And by the way, there are no exceptions. I know some of us make it hard to see that. Sometimes, once in a while. But there are no exceptions. This is the cutting edge. It is for me right now. Because there are a few people on the planet I'm having a little hard time seeing the beloved in. And I work on it every day. Because until I do, it's not going to change. Until you and I get our consciousness shifted and transformed into seeing the truth and the love within each person, no matter how untruthful or how unlovable they may be appearing, things aren't going to change. I take that as my mission. Do you take it as yours? I know that you do because I know what you're doing here. I know what your mission is. I know what your purpose and your vision is. And I am so lovingly, joyfully supportive of it. So this is my work. And I think it's all of our work. To see with the eye of the heart, to listen with the ear of the heart. You know, we have two ears, we have two eyes, and those two ears hear a lot of duplicity. And those two eyes see a lot of divisiveness. We must listen with the eye of the heart and the ear of the heart, see and hear. This divisiveness, disrespect, and distrust of the world is loud. Have you noticed how loud it is? That's why we need to get real quiet, as you do here in your beautiful rituals, to get real quiet and to listen to the song of spirit within. It's sweet, but it isn't just sweet. It's powerful, because God is bigger than any of the loudness out there. And it's a good thing, a really good thing for us to remember that. Once we learn to listen to the love and the wisdom that's within us all, and be willing to learn to listen to the love and the wisdom within others too. Do you know that some of the wisest, most loving people that I know are children? Listen to them. It's true. And then we become ready and willing to open our hearts to listen deeply to each other, compassionately, respectfully. Can you imagine a world like this? I know that you imagine, and we all imagine a world like this. And until we allow that creative imagination to do its work through us powerfully, we're still going to be dealing with the loudness of the world. But you know, when two or more are gathered together, there I am, the presence, the power, the infinite possibility exists. There's more than two here today. Aren't we glad? You see, we're all necessary for the well-being of one another. You know Hezekiah Walker? I need you, you need me. We're all a part of God's body. Stand with me, agree with me. We're all a part of God's body. Who knows the rest of it? It is His will that every need be supplied. You are important to me. I need you to survive. You are important to me. I need you to survive. I pray for you. You pray for me. I love you. I need you to survive. I won't harm you with words from my mouth. I love you. I need you to survive. I love you. I need you to survive. Will you repeat with me? There is only one life.
There is only one life.
That life is God's life.
That life is God's life.
That life is perfect.
That life is perfect.
That life is my life now.
That life is my life now.
I listen with an open heart.
I listen with an open heart
to the sweet song of spirit.
to the sweet song of spirit.
I use my voice
I use my voice
to sing in harmony with all beloveds.
to sing in harmony with all beloveds.
Sing out, sisters. Belt it out, brothers. Let's raise our voices in love.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I thought I was containing it, but woo! Yeah. All right. So, some of you might know and some of you don't. I like to start out my message with a few spiritual principles, or rather what Ernest Holmes called what we believe. We've numbered them. And so this morning we are working with spiritual principle number 1. Simply, it says, we believe in God, the living Spirit, Almighty One, indestructible, absolute, and self-existent cause. Spiritual principle number 2, we believe in the individualization of the Spirit in us, and that all people are individualizations of the one Spirit. Finally, spiritual principle 11, we believe in our own soul, our own spirit, and our own destiny. For we understand that the life of all is God. We believe in God. I believe in God. God in me, as me. Simply. So, the title of our talk for today, Dr. Maxine and I came up with, One Song, Many Instruments. When Dr. Maxine and I were trying to figure out what to talk about, I shared with her that our congregation was changing. There were some new people here, and some of us who have been around for a while. You know, we got time in the game. And so I said, well, it would be good if we took today to encourage each other. Might just be a good day to do that and to make the commitment to stay with the practices and to stay with the teaching, because there's so much at any level or any place that you find yourself on this journey. There's so many opportunities for you to, give it up. But to stay with it, because when you stay with it, you get way more than you bargained for. way more than you bargained for. The Centers for Spiritual Living, they have, the organization we belong to, they have a purpose statement, and it is awakening humanity to its spiritual magnificence. And that's what we're doing today, encouraging each other, seeing in each other love, seeing in each other joy, seeing in each other the goodness and calling it forth, and waking it up in each other as we wake it up in ourselves. Seeing it in me so that I can see it in you. And you seeing it in you so you can see it in me. So really, what each of us are doing when we come here on Sundays and when we gather for our classes and our book studies and fellowship, really what we are doing is we are working to become the greatest version of ourselves. That's all we're doing, by many names, and to create a better life for ourselves. Now, this is not going to be easy. We already know that. But at a time such as this, perhaps it's the greatest thing that we can do, is to become the greatest version of ourselves. Dr. Ernest Holmes, in his book, Love and Law, he says this: people who expect to demonstrate principles, that is, people who expect to demonstrate love, and people who expect to demonstrate joy, and people who expect to demonstrate abundance, and on and on and on, he says they must be very constant, very positive, very sure, and faithful with themselves, patient with themselves, long-suffering with themselves. He says you will rise and you will fall. You will get discouraged. You'll become encouraged. But always you will be progressing. Today is a good day to remind ourselves, I'm not the same. Matter of fact, just tell your neighbor, I'm not the same. I'm not the same. Yeah. I'm not the same. So, our topic, one song, many instruments, it came as a result of Dr. Maxine and I. At some point in time, we discovered that her love for the opera and my love of rap that it wasn't so different after all. We both were looking for instruments that could take us deeper into discovering something more about ourselves, could take us deeper into feeling that which is within us, so each of us could sing our own unique song. And isn't that what this is all about? So we gather this way to find and discover our own instrument, our divine instrument. Your instrument can be anything. Hers happens to be opera. Mine happens to be rap. It might be football. It might be knitting. It might be crocheting. It might be cooking. Whatever. Find it. Find it. And so everyone gets to sing their own unique song in harmony with one another. So I thought I would just go ahead and drop a quick line on y'all. Since I rap, kind of, like summarizing what I'm gonna say, but anyway, here we go. I'm a rapper, I don't rhyme. Watch me flip the line. The instrument may change, but the song remains the same. The instrument, they will change, still just one song we sing. I give it to you again, Dr. Maxine. I'm a rapper, I don't rhyme. Watch me flip the line. The instrument may change, but the song remains the same. The instrument, they will change. Still, just one song we sing. Let me break it down for you. Always, we are at choice. That's what I'm trying to say to you. But oftentimes, we are unaware that we have choice. And even when we are aware that we have choices, sometimes we are unaware of the choices. Sometimes we are unaware of the choices. But choosing is harmonizing. Choosing is harmonizing. There's three things that you've got to choose or not. You've got to choose your words, you've got to choose yourself, and you've got to choose to share yourself. You got to choose your words, you got to choose yourself, and you've got to choose to share yourself. When we walk through the doors of a center like this, sometimes we find ourselves struggling with the words. We struggle with a whole lot of words. Particularly, we struggle with the word God. And that's because we have ascribed a meaning to the word God that doesn't belong to the word God. So really, what we're angry at is people. We're angry at our situation and our circumstances, not God. But we start to think that God didn't choose me, so I'm not choosing God. But we gather like this. It's intentional, because when we gather like this, what we're doing is we're creating tension. We're creating space between the word and the meaning of the word. It's very intentional. So don't lose sight here. I don't want you to lose sight of what's happening when we come here. I want you to know what's happening. Tension on purpose. If you're thinking, it's because we want you to think. Yes. So that you can find your word. One song, many instruments. But you've got to find your word. See, Dr. Maxine Kaye, if she was going to share her word, she texted me and she said, I'll do a Shakespearean sonnet. And Rev, you rap. So if she was going to be sharing her words, Shakespearean sonnet, she might say something like this as she was describing God. She may something like, God, the infinite source of all, known by many names, whose essence remains the same. Now, me, the rapper, I might say something like this. God is everything. You can call it anything. It's all still the same. Always still the same. Its essence still the same. Whatever words you use, it's still the same. God is everything. Call it what you want. It's still the same, right? Her words, my words. She rhymes, I rap. I'm a rapper, I don't rhyme. But we still say and sing the same song. So we come on Sundays. Let me back up and say, number 2, you got to choose yourself. We come on Sundays. I know I did. I used to come on Sundays. And sometimes, if I'm going to be honest, I still do. I come looking for love. And I come looking to be loved. Or I come to find ways to make others love me when we enter into these doors. But because we're very intentional about what we're doing, we create tension in your stories, in your words, and the meanings. So we gather to create tension, to create space between the outside and the inside, so that you can discover yourself on the inside. And in choosing you, you're making the commitment to become the greatest version of yourself. To challenge yourself and to change yourself, to change yourself and to challenge yourself, to become the greatest version of yourself. It's the greatest thing that we can be doing, and we are doing it. But the thing here is you got to be very careful when you're choosing yourself. You have to make sure that you're not choosing yourself because of someone else. You can't choose yourself for that reason. Trying to change for someone else, me, the rapper, I call that a hustle. That's mostly changing the outside. But everybody is doing the work to change the outside. Dare I say it's easy. You can go to the store and buy whatever part you want to make better. You know what I'm saying? All of it. That's easy. But when you choose you, what you're doing is you're bringing clarity into your life. When you choose you, one comes to know what I can expect from myself and what others can expect from me. I call that living in the flow. A rapper like me, I would just say, drop the hustle, live in the flow. Okay? So, lastly, you've got to share yourself, your God self. You got to share your love. You've got to share your joy. It's a mandate. It's necessary. When Dr. Maxine said yes to sharing herself with me, it meant the world to me. When Reverend Sheila said yes to sharing herself with all of us, it meant the world to us. You being here, sharing yourself with us, it means the world to us. The mirror that you hold up, it's invaluable. So you've got to share yourself. Listen, if you've been doing the work and you have changed, challenge yourself to change, and now you're the best version of yourself, the only thing left to do is to share it. The only thing left to do is to share it. You know, in the book of Genesis, it is said that God said something like this: God looked upon all that he had made, and indeed it was very good. You know what I'm saying? When you're sharing yourself, it's like a good cake. You want to share it. You know what I mean? Or that perfect drink. You want to share it. You, perfect. You got to share yourself. Share your love. Share your joy. Don't hold back. Because when you do, you get way more than you bargained for. Way more than you bargained for. This is a lot different than how we normally enter into relationships. Usually we enter relationships, we bring our baggage, we bring our pain, we bring our sorrow, we bring our misery, and on and on and on. No, we flip the line. Bring your joy. Bring your love. Bring your peace. You know what I'm saying? The thing is that we think our story is serious. But like I've learned from the great Dr. Maxine Kaye, if she was, she was in her sonnet, Shakespearean sonnet, she might say something like this: well, you know, dear. She might say, you know, dear, nothing serious, but you, my dear, are sacred. Nothing is serious, but you, my dear, is sacred. And what's sacred is made to share. And so it is. All right. So the way we're going to end this is that Dr. Maxine, in her text,
And you, my dear. You, my dear.
she said, "I got an idea. You want to get wild with me?" I was like, okay. She said, maybe we could end the service. I'll do a rhyme, and you do a rap. So we call this the Revs wrapping it up.
That's it.
Yeah, you first.
I love her. Oh. One song, many instruments. The voice of spirit sings through everyone. The melody is sweet and pure and good. The many variations, plain or fun, become our human song, as well they should. For each of us, as instruments of life, express uniquely, soft or loud or kind. For all of us, excuse me, I got a little Avon River in my throat. Stratford-on-Avon, you know, Shakespeare. Thank you. Thank you. For each of us as instruments of life express uniquely, soft or loud or kind, and all of us are needed, flute and fife, to sing the glorious song of heart and mind. The cosmic orchestra in harmony begins its composition filled with grace, for all the notes, each chord, and every key bring love and honor to the human race. Without your voice, the concert would be less. So sing your song with love and joyfulness. Take it.
All right. All right. So, no, stay up here with me. Yeah, I need your support. I mean, I got to rap.
Oh, stand with me. I need you.
All right. All right. Here we go. Way more than you bargained for. 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 Let me bust the line. That's a wrap for today. Stay tuned for more. Me and Max got infinity, a lot more to explore. From raps to sonnet, who knows what's next? With the messages of love and dropping your hustle to living in the flow. Way more than you bargained for. Way more than you bargained for. Way more than you bargained for. Max chooses sonnets, me, I choose rap. Either way, it's still a flow. And you get way more than you bargained for. Way more than you bargained for. Way more than you bargained for. One song, we flip the style. Take this with you. Pick yourself, select yourself, tag yourself, choose yourself, and you get way more than you bargained for. Way more than you bargained for. Way more than you bargained for. Share yourself, let it flow. Your love, your joy, your peace. Hold back, no. And you get way more than you bargained for. Way more than you bargained for. Way more than you bargained for. And so it is. And so as we journey on throughout our week, less foolishness, much wiser. When you listen with your heart. And when you do, you get way more than you bargained for. And so it is.